Alright, hey there you guys. It is Friday, September 29th, and you know what we do here every single Friday. I group together a bunch of highlights from the gaming industry, things that I think were really interesting that happened this week, and things I think you might find interesting as well. In this video, we have things like F-Zero 99 receiving its very first update, Jim Ryan, the CEO of Sony PlayStation, officially retiring, and Hideki Kamiya also leaving Platinum Studios. All that and more within this video. Before we get into the topics, do me a favor and like this video. If you guys enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, as that does help us out tons. So if you want to stay up to date on some of the gaming news highlights that happen throughout the week, definitely check back in every single Friday. I'm not going to waste any more of your time, and let's get into the very first topic. Something we don't talk about often on this channel throughout these videos or anything like that are Nintendo Switch's online free trial games. They normally have one every month. A lot of times they're kind of miss more than hit. This one I do think is a hit. Nintendo Switch free trial game for this week is Eastward. So Eastward is available to try for free from September 28th to October 3rd. If you guys never played Eastward, it's a pretty charming indie adventure game. It also has DLC coming out soon. So again, if you're interested in that, definitely check it out before the trial period ends. F-Zero 99 was a fantastic addition to Nintendo Switch Online, and it's already seen its first update. So currently available now, they updated F-Zero 99 to add 5 new playable tracks. This is really exciting. This is really cool. I really like F-Zero 99, and I like to see that Nintendo likes to kind of invest in F-Zero 99. Hopefully they could keep adding updates at a frequent pace, because I mean the game's only been out for a couple weeks, maybe a month at this point, and we're already getting our first update with 5 new tracks. That's fantastic to see, and I can't wait to see what else they do with this game. If you guys are interested, definitely check it out. If you guys have Nintendo Switch Online, I highly recommend checking out F-Zero 99. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been the game that just keeps on giving and giving, for better or for worse, depending on what you kind of want from Mario Kart. But yeah, the Deluxe booster course packs final wave is finally coming to an end, and we have all our new tracks coming, all our full characters. The game essentially is complete from its deluxe version to its booster course pass, and that's cool to see. Maybe now they can start working on Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart 10, wherever we're at right now. But before that, Nintendo did announce that for Japan only, the Mario Kart Deluxe 8 booster course will be getting a physical edition. So that's really cool to see and exciting for those that are collectors of it, and if you live in Japan. Groundbreaking news this week for PlayStation fans, where CEO Jim Ryan officially announced that he will be retiring in 2024. He'll actually be somewhat pseudo stepping down in the month of October already. And it's really interesting where a lot of people really took to Twitters, to the YouTubes, Instagrams, whatever, to talk about their opinions on Jim Ryan. And obviously a lot of people have some very, very rough opinions about the guy. He's a very controversial figure as the head of Sony PlayStation. I get that. I personally didn't have any real issues with him. I don't really know him. I just generally don't really care about him too much. In the end of the day, he doesn't change, my view of PlayStation. But it is good to see that there might hopefully be some kind of mix-up in Sony PlayStation, as I've been kind of saying that they need to make sure they don't fall into their tropes of getting a little too big-headed, getting a little too, big for their britches, which is something that I've been seeing currently, where they were being a little bit too, anti-consumer. And I mean, Sony PlayStation is always going to be that. They're, the quote-unquote premium luxury brand, and they really treat their consumers as dollar signs, and it's very obvious a lot of times. But as long as they keep releasing quality titles like Spider-Man 2, like the Ratchet and Clanks, like the God of Wars, then I don't really care who's in charge of Sony PlayStation. I'm not going to go too much more into detail, as I do have another video on the channel. Check it out with my full thoughts on Jim Ryan leaving. But yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at right now. Every month, PlayStation Plus subscribers get usually 3 free games, quote-unquote free games, added to their library every month. And the games coming out in October have been announced. We got Farming Simulator 22, we got Weird West, and Callisto Protocol. None of these games I'm gonna say are like absolute bangers must get, but I mean they seem interesting enough. Callisto Protocol was a game I kind of wanted to play, but not really heavily where I want to put the money into it. So I'm definitely probably gonna check it out, especially because it is October, it is the spooky season, and I'm kind of interested in checking it out. Beyond that, Farming Simulator doesn't do anything for me, and neither does Weird West. So not the creme de la creme of months for PlayStation Plus, but they're free, quote unquote free games. Check them out if you guys are interested. Horizon Forbidden West has been one of the breakout titles of the PlayStation like newer modern era, and Horizon Forbidden West was a fantastic game based off most accounts. And Sony PlayStation did announce that they have a complete edition coming in October 6th for PlayStation 5, including the DLC, digital art book, a comic book, a bunch of other like add-ons for people. Maybe if you already bought the game but you kind of wanted to get some additional stuff or the DLC, or you've never played the game yet and you kind of just want to get it all bundled together. It's gonna be awesome for anyone who hasn't checked it out yet. They also did announce that the complete edition will be going to PC sometime next year. So for you PC gamers who've been waiting for this game, I don't think this game really speaks to a PC audience too much. I don't really see it doing like huge numbers. But for those of you guys who've been waiting, it will be there. Speaking of PC games, Teardown, this is a game that's been received very well on like Steam and Epic, is coming and making its way to PlayStation 5 in November, specifically November 15th, where if you're already a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium member, you'll be getting it day and date, for a console where you don't have to actually buy the game. It's just included with the subscription. Teardown looks interesting. It looks like a Minecraft Payday kind of thing, in my opinion. I don't really know. I'm not really into the voxel style of game, so I don't think I'm really interested in this game. But I'll definitely check it out since I'm subscribed to Premium. Epic Game Studios, the developers behind things like Fortnite, have announced that they are laying off roughly 800 to 900 of their staff, mainly due to the fact that they say Fortnite isn't really doing the numbers that it once was, and it wasn't sustainable to keep as many employees on as in the past. Which, I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Fortnite has been going on for a very, very long time. So it makes sense that the engagement is down, that people played the game, and as much as Epic wants to try to keep buying out like licenses to add new characters and new worlds and really try to keep people invested in Fortnite, it's just one of those things that eventually it's time to start shuttering down some of these live service games. And not that Fortnite is on its way out or anything, because they invented like the creator mode and all this other stuff to really like reinvigorate some kind of like new audience within Fortnite. But unfortunately that is going to be without almost 900 of their staff, which sucks to hear. And this is a continued like trend throughout 2023 where we see studios closing, staffs being laid off. And I just hope that a lot of these talented people find another place within the industry where they're happy. Respawn's like Star Wars Jedi series has been fantastic, depending on who you ask. Obviously the performance hasn't really been there, and like graphics and quality hasn't really been there, but from just gameplay and storytelling, Respawn has made a fantastic addition to the Star Wars like universe. And we got like a pseudo confirmation that they're working on the final, not final, but the next installment in the Star Wars like Jedi series from like the voice actor of Cal Kestis. Which, I mean, this happens where voice actors kind of announce prematurely certain games. Norman Reedus announced Death Stranding 2 was in development, and it would make sense that Cal Kestis, the voice actor behind Cal Kestis, is aware of the next game that they're working on. Obviously he has to do a lot of the voice and dialogue, etc., and a lot of it is like based off of him. So I mean, it is pretty safe to say that yeah, we're gonna get a trilogy to Star Wars Jedi. And based off like the story, when you complete the game of Jedi Survivor, it's very obvious that it's written with another installment in mind. Not to mention that Respawn has already like voiced their interest in creating a trilogy. So hopefully when they launch the next game, though, it's not riddled with bugs and glitches and performance issues like Jedi Survivor was. it's pretty common in the modern day of gaming to hear big publishers acquire other studios or even other publishers at times. Especially when you look at Microsoft and Xbox, how they've been acquiring studios kind of left and right with Bethesda and Activision. Well, some of the heads of Capcom were asked if Microsoft were to come at them with the bag and try to acquire them, what would their response be? They said that they would graciously turn it down, that they believe that their best interest for their company is to remain equal partners with Microsoft and Xbox, which just makes sense. But it is a cool turn of events where I remember a couple years back, like I want to say even less than a decade ago, where Capcom was on the chopping block, where they were making tons of financial mistakes, and people were curious about whether or not someone would acquire them. Obviously, they have right the ship. They've changed course and done a lot of amazing things within their pillar franchises, like Street Fighter 6, like the Resident Evil franchise, like Monster Hunter. Capcom right now, currently in 2023, is a powerhouse in gaming, and you love to see it. You love to see them comfortable financially and creatively with a lot of their games, and I can't wait to see what their future projects hold. Our final news topic comes as somewhat of a surprise, at least to me, and this is the fact that Hideki Kamiya of Platinum Games has announced that he is leaving Platinum Games. This is the guy, the man, the creative genius behind things like the Bayonetta series. Overall, it looks like the departure from Platinum Games was a very clean departure. It doesn't look to be hostile or any bad blood left there. Platinum Games did wish him his best of luck in his future endeavors, and he did tell his fans that keep your eyes peeled, that he will be working on projects in the future. Overall, I am pretty excited to see what he comes up with. I'm looking at this as very Hideo Kojima vibes, where he left Konami. I mean, that was a bad leave, but he left Konami to create Kojima Studios and work with PlayStation and Xbox, etc. So hopefully Hideki Kamiya has a bright future still within gaming, because I really did like things like the Bayonetta series, Beautiful Joe, etc. So I'm hoping he does create some pretty cool creative projects sometime in the future. Well, that's going to do it here for this gaming news highlights video. Do me a favor and let me know down below your thoughts on some of these gaming topics, what interested in you, what didn't interest you, etc. Remember to go out there, enjoy your weekend, play some awesome games, and I'll see you guys on the next video.